Hours after that, in my experience, we start to get a picture of what the results may be. Remember, the SABC News is working with CSIR. Very accurate predictions last time, already at around midnight. So do stay with Stephen Curtis and the rest of the team following as those results start to trickle in a few hours' time. Now, for more on voting, that's still happening, we cast to our reporter Beatrice Makgwale, who's in the Polokwane area of Limpopo. Beatrice, what is happening with just 15 minutes or so to go?
Well, good evening to you as well as the viewers at home. And indeed, today a lot has happened. We saw the EFF leader Julius Malema, casting his vote in Seshego at a school called Mponegele, where he was accompanied by his wife. As one would expect that he would be accompanied by, his grandmother, but that was not the situation, as we know that Koko Sarah Malema has passed away over the weekend. And certainly what Malema said there is that, they will accept any, results that will come. As South Africans, they're the one that have the power to decide who they want into power. But also one strong message that he relayed to, all party agents, across the country is that they should be on the lookout to make sure that everything runs smoothly in all, the voting stations, that there is no fraud or fault that is happening, because if it does, it means that the elections were not free and fair. And in terms of voting stations here in Limpopo, one would expect that in Guyana, there will be, challenges or incidents. There were no major incidents reported there, but we know that voting was a bit slow today. But it is expected, as that it is, the voting time is coming to an end at 9. That people between, maybe now until 9, they make sure that they go there, they cast their vote, as this is their last opportunity to do so. And we understand that also here in Polokwane, at a certain voting station, they ran out of the Section 24A forms. Those are the forms that are used by, non-local voters so they can be able to cast their votes. But we've learned that at that voting station, they've ran out of that form. But surely, as the hours, going 9 o'clock is just around a few minutes away. We'll certainly have to wait and see what will happen, especially for Limpopo. We know that it is heavily contested by ANC as well as EFF. We know that EFF in 2014, they've managed to get just above 10%, of vote people here in the province. And we'll certainly have to wait and see on Saturday as to who will take over in this province. If AFF certainly get, an increase in seats in parliament or in legislature, a provincial legislature, it will be a celebratory moment for them, and also see what will happen in terms of ANC. But in terms of voting stations, we'll be having a media briefing later on with IC Limpopo for them just to give us a briefing in terms of the voting stations across the province. If there were any glitches and challenges that they have encountered. So certainly we'll hear later on as to if it went smoothly, because we know that yesterday there were certain voting stations that didn't open and people were not able to cast their ballots, and there were incidents where some residents were IEC officials were interrupted while executing special votes. So we have to wait a bit later on to hear if there were no similar incidents that had transpired in some voting station, looking at Guyana as well as Viwane. But for now, that's it from me here in Polokwane. It's back to you in studio.
Beatrice Makgwale from Polokwane area of Limpopo.